morning, class. Today our lesson is on perimeter, specifically polygon perimeter. The first thing we need to do is identify what is a polygon. A polygon is any two-dimensional shape formed with straight edges, and they meet in a vertex. A polygon can be three-sided, like a triangle. It can be four-sided, which would be a quadrilateral. That would include things like a square and a rectangle. It could be a trapezoid or a rhombus. Anything four-sided. It can have other sides. Okay, so it can have 5 sides, which would be our pentagon. It can be 6 sides, a hexagon, 8 sides, an octagon, and so forth. And actually, in a polygon, the number of sides, the term for that shape, it will tell us how many sides there are. Okay, so my question to you is, we know we've got quadrilaterals, we've got the triangle, we've got hexagons. What about a circle? Is that a polygon? Simply answered, no. Because it does not have any straight edges. It is a curved edge. So a circle is not a polygon. So we cannot figure out the perimeter of a circle because it does not meet the criteria for a polygon. Okay, now let's go on to perimeter. What is perimeter? Well, perimeter simply is going around the outside edge, the measure of all the sides on the outside edges of your polygon. And to figure the perimeter on a polygon, you simply add the length of each side. It doesn't matter what shape. Okay, so that would be the sum. Another way to think of this is like a cup. If you're looking at it and you've got the rim, okay, so we're going on the rim of our polygon, and there it is right there, perimeter. Okay, so think about the rim, it's the edge. All right, so let's get started on this to figure out how to find the perimeter. And we're going to start, I want to start on the triangle. So our triangle has 3 sides. And even though the triangle that I've drawn for you is actually equilateral because it has 3 equal sides, we're going to pretend that it doesn't, that maybe it has an obtuse angle or an acute angle, but we're going to say 3 centimeters on this side, 4 centimeters on this side, and 5 centimeters on this side. To find the perimeter, we will add all 3 sides and find the sum. So we've got 3, 4, and 5. And I want you to notice that as I was writing it down, I checked off the side so that I don't forget that I've already included that in my equation. And then we simply add. 3 plus 4 is 7, and 7 plus 5 is 12. So the perimeter around my triangle is 12 centimeters. Okay, that's a triangle. Now, let's go to our square. Squares are actually pretty easy because if we remember the definition of a square, it's a quadrilateral where all 4 sides are the same length. So if I say that the length of one side is 6 inches, then I would know that the length on each side is 6 inches. and I can write that in. Now, most of our worksheets are going to show you it just like this. It's only going to give you the length on one side. So, I want you to show your work. I want you to show me that you understand that all sides are the same. So I want you to write that in. Then we're going to add 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 6s. I've got 4 sides. I've done that correctly. And then we add and get the sum. 6 plus 6 is 12. This is a double. I'm going to write it this way. 6 plus 6 is 12. And then we know that 12 plus 12 is 24. And our unit of measure is inches. So our perimeter is 24 inches. And that goes around our square. Okay, I'm going to erase that. Let's go to our rectangle. Now our rectangle, it's still a quadrilateral. It has 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. But it has 2 sides that are parallel, that are long, 2 sides that are parallel, that are short. We still figure out our perimeter the same way. And let's think about this as our playground. Out on our playground, we have a fenced area that has our swings in it. Okay, so we're thinking about our playground. And we want to know the perimeter around our playground because maybe we need to replace our fence and we need to know how much we need. So, and this is a good reason why we need to figure out perimeter is a lot of times we need to buy material to replace something or to, like in your house, if you have a yard and you want to put up a fence, you need to know the perimeter so that you know how much material to buy. So on our playground, we're going to say that the length of the long sides, which is where our gates are at, is 32, and I'm going to say feet. Okay? Then the length of the short end is 14 feet. Again, on our worksheets, you're going to see it labeled like this because those who make our worksheets, they know that we are smart enough to remember that the length of a rectangle, each opposing side, the one that's parallel, is the same length as the one already labeled. So, but we're going to label it. This is what I want. I want to see you do this on your worksheet. Label all sides, even if they're all the same length. Label all sides. And so our short side is 14 feet. I want to see this work. That way I know that you're understanding this. Okay, and then we do the same thing. Now, the way I want to see this, I want you to group it in doubles. I think that that helps in our addition. So we're going to start with our long side. 32. Got that one. Plus 32. Got it. 14. Got it. And 14. And we're adding and we're finding the sum. Check that off. Okay, we're working in doubles. 2 plus 2 equals 4. 4 plus 4 equals 8. Then we find out that our ones place is 12. So we're going to put 2 in the ones place, carry our 1. 3 plus 3 is 6. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 6 is 8 plus 1 is 9. So the perimeter around our playground is 92 feet. And when they buy new fencing for the playground, they'll need 92 feet of fencing. That's how you figure out the perimeter on the rectangle. let's do one more. We're going to do our hexagon. Okay. The hexagon is the same thing. On our hexagon, we're going to say that each side is 12 yards. This is going to be a big pen for a bunch of dogs. Okay? Each side is 12 yards. We're going to make all of our sides equal. So we need to, this is how you might see it on your worksheet. So we're going to make sure that we label, and I want to see the unit of measure. That's going to help you also. I don't want just the number. I want the unit of measure, yards. 12 yards, 12 yards, 12 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got all 6 labeled. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to start at the top. That's the other thing. When you're adding these up, make sure you go in order. That way you don't get confused as to where you got your number from and that you've gotten all of them. So 12, check, plus 12, check, 12, check, 12, 12, check, 12, plus, check. I've got a check on all of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I've got all 6 sides. And this one I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I've already shown you that you can work in doubles, but these numbers are small enough. I think we can do it this way. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. Write my 2 in the ones place, carry the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 1 is 7. And it's yards. Please, 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 when you're adding, make sure you put your unit of measure, yards. 72 yards is the perimeter of our hexagon. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to work with our math buddy on our worksheet. Now, I will tell you on our worksheet that there are a couple of shapes, hint, hint, that are not polygons, okay? What I want you to do is just like I did over here, if we identify it as not a polygon, I want you to use your red color pencil and put a big red X over it, like fill the whole square with your X, okay? So if it's not a polygon, I want you to put a big X on it. All right. And then working with your partner, you're going to work on your worksheet. And there are a few shapes that I'm going to point out. The first one is your square. Only the top side is marked as to what the measurement is. Remember, I told you, write it down on each because we know that a square is a quadrilateral with 4 equal sides. So we know the length on that. The diamond, same thing. Triangle. This one is all 3 equal sides. Mark it. I want to see your work. Here's the rectangle. It has the measurement written down for the short side and for the long side. I want to see you put the correct measurements on the other 2 sides. Okay. And if you have any questions, I want you to raise your hand, and I'll come over and I'll help you. But work with a partner, and let's work on some perimeter practice.